And it is time again. Not for the glitch man, but for some music. Let's listen to it. Hopefully here. Good. Now, what are we doing? We are trying to make this work over here. And that is an infinite open world asset for the Unity store. Don't even know, we never even have gotten an asset there. But hopefully this will be helpful. Now, what it does is it lets the designer define their dungeon, if you want. A little bit of a map there. The X and Z direction tiles. This is a coordinate system starting at 0, going all the way up to 16, and then minus 16, and then on the other axis as well. In this case, and you can define it up to 99, or you can go into the code and make it even bigger. And then the creation speed, this is frames. 1 frame pause, right? Speed of tile creation per frame, yes. 1 frame pause, so you're gonna do 16 tiles, so this would go boop 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 boop. Let's see if this works actually. We go to none, and we go to none, and then we create 16 tiles per frame. 16 times 16 should look interesting when it's getting created. Let's see. Whoop. Yep, it does indeed look nice. And then of course we have the little thing here that has areas which can be predefined there. I wonder if we can do this here. Hey, we can. That's pretty cool. Stop the madness and see if it gets created on runtime as well. Of course it does. Whoop. So you have a predefined area, for example. Depending on what you want. Now the crazy thing is here, what is this? Mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountains, and 4, but this is correct. This is correct. It gives us 5 mountains and starts at 0, 0. And after 4 tiles it goes upwards 1. Good, so this all makes sense. What are we trying to do? The replacement code, that's right. Would it not be good to add something to the example here? I think it would. Example prefab. How come it doesn't have a script here? It has a script, of course. What if we gave this script a list? Because collections and collections generic is already in. So that would make sense. How do lists work again? Please don't tell me you have to have a start function. That would suck. Doesn't look like it. Here's a list. Public list. We never type in this series. No, sometimes we do. Example tile object. Good, and this is just for examples. We're practically done with the thing, but we just want to make sure everything works as intended, and maybe we've forgotten something, and we did forget something last time. Wish I could go back in time and read my mind, but that's not possible. So where do we put the list? After the curve? Does it matter? I don't know. Public list. And it's going to be a list of random tiles. And if there is something in this list, I could just call it RT. If there is something in this list, we are going to replace the tile there. And then maybe add some weight to it. I don't know. So what's the problem? Random tiles could not be found. What? Yeah, that is just stupid. Is of course game object. What are we thinking? Game object. A random tiles. Good. Man. Alright, where does it pop up? Here. So if you populate this list with prefabs, and maybe you should call it prefabs actually. Random tiles, random tile, prefabs. Just so we know what we're doing here. Random tile prefabs. Where is it here? So the designer fills this list up with prefabs, and then we should have a boolean. Defines resizing. This is also what's going on my desk. Something is going on here with the cords. Alright, let's put ourselves in here again. Good. Where were we? Random tile prefabs, that's right. For example, would it not be nice to have a wood tile? Oh no. Oh no. Example, overworld, plains. Let's make this a woods. Let's unpack it first. Where do we have it? Unpack. Prefab. Good. Where are you? We're going to call this not a grass patch. We're going to call it woods. Also, why is it a... Let's just delete it. Good. And this is forest. Gonna go with the magic naming conventions here. Plains, mountains, forest, island, and swamp. But here, overworld forest. Let's add in a 3D object. And it's gonna be a sphere. Right. Why does it not have here a material? Huh? And this is just woods? No idea why it does not have anything. Oh. It's kind of flat. Oh, because of this again. Oh, man. Well, it is what it is. Can we put it up or make it bigger? This could be alright. And what do we do otherwise with the scale? Could actually start out half the size. This looks good. Then it has a script, and that is the example tile object script. And we're gonna make it green. Oops. What? Where's my script? Here. Make it nice and green. And that reminds us that the other mother is probably not as good. Let's make it dark green for the woods. Also, we never checked this this albedo stuff. But that's fine. The metallic and the gloss, but that's in the shader. Chance bigger eyes, smaller much. Let's give it a little bit of a chance to be somewhat bigger and a little bit of a chance, or a big chance to be somewhat smaller. Oh, here we are, metal and glass. Let's make it completely metal and completely glass. Let's see how it looks. And the woods are a nice rich green on the floor. And we're going to also make it half and half, maybe one, I don't know. Right, so this is woods and this is good enough. Except we want this to be lots and lots of woods. Oh, wait a minute, we forgot something crucial. And that is defining what's gonna happen here. Random position tile, sure. Random rotation, not needed. Chance to destroy, yeah, a little bit of chance to destroy. Chance to raise up. Oh, random raise up. To a little bit. And the curve is the same as here's. This is a 007. Good. Random tile prefabs. No need, we're gonna add this later. Good, just add in the woods here. Now this is only just one wood. But maybe that's enough, who knows? Let's test this out. We are going to have nothing here. Let's just empty this out, and if we subscribe to it, what would happen? Probably throws an error. Let's just empty it out then. Good, and then we're going to say we want to see the woods. Tile size is 3, 16, 16, and default. Hit me. Good, I like how the code just works. That is quite amazing. But something is not working in that we forgot to give it a shader. Oh, that's embarrassing. Forest. Woods. Material. Oh, we have materials here. Standard plus curved. Where's my example material here? Good. Assets. Prefabs. Forest. See how it looks now. This again. Is it because we're too big? I think the code is just switching up the size too much. Yeah, we do have a problem there. And we have to give the character the shader as well, the curve shader. Center in. I mean, it's nice that we have a thick woods here. That's kind of cool. But we have a bunch of popping in as well. Which we shouldn't have. So let's do less and see what it gives. Chance around the chance to store. Random position on tile, sure. Chance bigger, chance smaller. I don't understand. And again, we're in the chords. Oh. That's bad. Example. It's just the code that is wrong. Let's turn this off for a moment. Just just want to see it work correctly here. Bloop. Alright. So the basis is in. This is no problem. But the woods are just too big. The resizing is completely broken. We have to jump into the example code. Probably. Alright. This should define resizing. But why doesn't it work nice? Bigger as much times 100 there is probably the issue. Local scale times and then a lot too much. Let's leave this be and see what happens. Forest, this is trial and error. We don't really like to do this. Trial and error stuff. Oh man. Because it takes a lot of time and it is embarrassing. But let's quickly get this underway. Now it works perfectly. And let's look at it here. Good. So we do have the woods. And the trees kind of look beautiful. Some are really small. So this would be overworld then. I don't think we like this one texture for the woods. Let's switch that up. Boom, beam, boom. Example done object, standard plus curved. But can we really? Because we have in the in here we have this texture now. Wait. Yeah. But there is this. But it's the normal map. Wonder if we could switch the texture of the normal map with the other thing. There is nothing in the rules that says we cannot do it. I don't think. Defines resizing, material, example material. Good. So we would give it a public boolean. There are more of these. Texture switch. Texture switch, just for fun. And there's a material block stuff. Set property block. Example material. So if we were to say here somewhere Matt, get Matt. We probably need a texture. Texture. This is so dumb, but we need a texture. Hold it. Equals material texture, and we don't know how this works actually. We have no clue. Do we have to texture? What is it called? Texture 2D? I have no idea. Texture hold it equal material texture. And then we're going to say, yeah, because we don't know, material normal. No, material texture. This is so wrong. What's it called, man? Because we don't know. Curved transparent, standard plus curved. This is the material. Albedo. Normal. What if we're clicking here the debug? Uh-oh. This looks like shader stuff. Main text. Bump map. I think that's what we're looking for. But let's be really sure. Oh dear, this is my Unity card. My personal information. That's crazy pants. Let's move this over because I want to read this. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. These are my personal information, so you can have them. No problem. Now, Unity, material, API. What did we say? Entity? Scripting API material. What are we looking for? Get to jip has boop has lerp set int burp vector height gather instant color double-sided main texture and bump map. Let me guess. It's called main texture and bump map. Don't see a bump map here. The main texture. Uh-oh. Let's ask the Google. Unity material get bump map. Property. Physical texture with bump mapping. Changing. Set global texture. What? Bump map property. Set texture. Assign a new texture. Set texture and then the string name and the texture value. Oh, this is complicated. We don't actually want this. We don't want to go as far as the shader. We just need the material. We just need to access it in the material. What is this? Where we again? This is the Mozilla Firefox again. This garbage browser. Why are we using this? Get away. Horrible. Unity material normal map property. Should I use normal maps? Yeah, you should. How can I access a normal map value in Unity? That's what I want to know. There you go. Would like to do something so you get main texture, get normal. Yeah, we can do it. We could, but we would have to dig too deep. Let's abort. The problem is... the problem is that the material gives us the main texture, but not the bump map. We would have to look into the texture 2D in the shader to grab it. Yeah. Look at this. To get texture name. So we would have to grab it there and then change it there again. There's too much effort for too little gain. Is there really no Unity material RP? Main texture. Main texture is textures index. Yeah, and if we could here just have the bump map. Material main texture. Equals. I mean, we could give it. Can we access this in Unity? We can access it in the editor, but during runtime, I don't think we can just add in some default texture. Maybe we can. Let's find out. Unity, add default texture by code. Suppose I could just use factory pattern. Resources load. Custom default texture shade other than red black. Material set texture. String name, texture value. There's example code. Set the texture you assign as the main texture. The texture you assign in the inspector is the texture.
I reign supreme.
Again, it is good to see the fat cat. Hi, Jode. Hi, fat cat. What is happening? Are you excited about the riveting gameplay here? Maybe it is as easy as this. Maybe we don't have to do too much actually to make this work. You're so excited for it? Good. Hey, I think I found the movie I was talking about. It wasn't Next. It was a movie with James Belushi, but I haven't watched it yet. Retroactive, I think it's called. Not 100% sure. And we watched a movie that was we got scammed. We looked at movies and we were searching for time loop, and then it wasn't a time loop, it was just time travel. And the movie was with Ethan Hawke. I finished Presents and sent you with I read them. I have read your thoughts. I'm very unhappy. I thought you would like the movie as much as I liked it. So I'm very sad now. Really sad. But the movie with Ethan Hawke was called Paradox Incest. No, I don't know what it was called. But yeah. It was so slow, yeah. It was too slow. You have to not be a TikTok addict for enjoying that movie. Good texture. We're derping around with this now. Good. There is the main texture in. Not sure this is actually. Let's crack it open first. Let's crack it open first. They make it a little bit convoluted, but that's not too bad at all. Just enable the metallic gloss map, normal map. Just enable the keywords there. Not metallic gloss map. Maybe we just have to do this here. I don't mind slow, but just wanted to go somewhere. I don't understand, because I watched the movie and I never got bored, ever. I found it interesting when they brought in the psychic, the medium there, and wanted to know what information they had, and then it was nice to see the angle that they were normal people and with normal problems, and then they asked for some money, and I was excited about the character development of the husband, because you didn't like him. He was too inert in your opinion or something. I don't know what you didn't like about him. I think he was just there and not a solution for any problem. I think that was your complaint, and I didn't mind that at all. I didn't care for the dad. Hey, I want to sit down and talk with you. I don't know. Get on with it, buddy boy, says the fat cat. Yeah, not everybody is a good parent, like I would be. I know you were waiting for, like you, but I'm narcissistic. I learned this from the YouTube people that I see there on YouTube. Like the orange guy is a narcissistic, self-centered, not a nice person, and that's what he's known for. Oh yeah, and he also is the leader of the not anymore free world. But anyways, no politics here. No politics in this channel. Fat cat, how dare you bring this up? Terrible. And you're my mod? Anyway. So we have the normal map here. And then we have the main texture in a buffer variable. And then we set the main texture is going to be instead the normal map. Set the normal map using the... what? Set texture. I did expose. Well, that's not an exposition. It is enabling a keyword. This is too much behind the scenes. I don't know why this works. I just know in my heart of hearts this will work. Good. If you want time to run, I recommend dark. Oh dear, that's funny. That's the texture of no. Now I want loops. I don't want time travel. That's the whole point of my story with the orange man and everything. I know I digressed, but my point is I was looking for a looping movie. A looping movie like not Looper. That's a misnomer. That wasn't looping at all. I want a Groundhog Day. You would get loops. It's so good. Alright. Well, I cannot watch Dark because they messed up the start of the show. And that really ruined it for me. I cannot go back. I would have to watch the beginning again, and then there's the sound of it. Terrible. Horrible. You would get loops, timelines, and it has it all. I don't think I'm interested. I don't want it all. I just want a regular groundhog, like it's my death day or something. Push through and you will thank me. Yeah, thank me later. I heard it before. But yeah, no, there's this German movie, Run Lola Run. That's a time loop. They're only twice and it doesn't make any sense. There's no explanation why this is happening. And it's not the point. The point is just to tell a cool story. It was such a small movie. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie, but it was such a small movie, man. Really inconsequential and not inspirational at all. It was just awful. But we enjoyed it. Good, so it has set the texture to the normal. Wait, what? This doesn't seem right. Set the normal map. But how? Using the texture you assign in the inspector, huh? Set texture. I don't want to set texture. If anything, I want to get texture. Surely if there's a set texture, there's a get texture, and I dare you not to be there. Good. This will never work, ever. I wish this would work though. But I think we're wasting our time. I gotta take like one more call, alright. Good. Get texture. This is gonna be the setter. And we're just gonna use our hold it. That's maybe... Well, if this doesn't work, we're gonna give up simply. Oops, what were we doing? Good. The name mnormal does not exist. Get texture. Why? Get texture. This does not work. No overload. Get texture. Textures. Well, this compiled. But what will it do? Good. The whole idea was to switch here. Texture switch. Right. And then we go into the prefabs. Old woods. And then we press play and see what happens. Nothing. Absolutely nothing happens. Bim, boom, boom, boom. And this is not because we haven't clicked it, this just runs. This is the material and this must go before. It gets assigned, of course. And now it doesn't even matter. And it did not matter before either. It just doesn't work. That's what we thought. But we didn't think nothing would happen at all. to your main texture. Texture. Maybe the texture keyword is wrong. Unity. Texture. Is it texture 2D? I don't know, we can try. No? So Unity engine texture 2D. Nope. Oh, wait, what? Set texture. We have a double now, don't we? Set texture bump map to the main texture. Maybe it did work actually. And set texture. Let's find out. Dun 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 dun. Materials, standard plus curved. Huh? It did it permanently? Whoops. Dee-doo. That's not good, huh? That's crazy pants. You want it only for the block. That's not gonna work. But let's look at the naming convention again. Main and text. And why is it... We probably have to look at the naming convention of the renderer. Shader, sorry. What? What? Oh no, that's fine. Hold it is the main texture. Good. Set texture bump map. Main texture. Set texture. No, 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 no. How can we grab this? Because we don't know. Main texture. How can we get this texture here? Get the bump map. Wait, it said it does not take two arguments. Hold it. Material. Get texture. The null map is exposed. But what the hell? Enable keyword. Anyways, get texture. Bump map. Good. Then we set the texture. Bump map is the main texture. And then material. Main texture equals hold it. Now that should switch out in the end. Error. Expected something you did not do. 7-8. What? Where? expected. 7, 8. But we have it here. Oh man, there is a parenthesis. Good. So that's gonna be interesting because we're gonna hit play now and then gonna switch this out, maybe. Or not. What about here? I mean, clearly it did not happen, but can we see something here? Where is the mesh? Material, a material. Is the material instance? And here is a shader. The shader is still the same. So there nothing happened at all. This is a lot of playing around. Feels like I should not be doing it. Curve transparent. Doesn't even have a bump map. Why does the water not have a bump map? Let's research this quickly. Unity transparent shader with bump map. But it has specular and bump control and transparent shaders. Since there's new shader is Maya. Yes, but if you actually use it, you will not speak and transparent as a code for the same map. It's not how it should be done. This is what I asked for. Mentioned all, but just picture about transparent. Oh, look, there it is. Transparent detection normal map. Got quite a conundrum, but I'm trying to choose semi-transparent detection normal map. Use a shader. Looks like a good shader. Looks perfect except for this part. Some of the faces are dark and there's visual exposure drawn in front of our numbers. Geometry is basically volumetric mesh. Missing something. Efficient and correct sorting of 3D images in real-time rendering is still an unsolved problem. Interesting. Mesh splitting with mesh image sorting. Some order independent transparency. Sure. Using quite a simple surface shader with an additional pass. Light falling on the bump map. This guy solved it. What a good guy. Yeah, this looks way better. Still, should this not render? I guess I would just default into glass. Thank you. It works. Thank you. Interesting. A little side research, unrelated, but this simply does not work. Let's forget about it. We don't need to. We don't need to do this. It looks how it looks. And it can't be helped. Also, maybe switch this out. And then everything will look different. I don't know, let's just leave it be. Good, we have this. And this is good enough. Alright, so this is the stylized woods. And the shadow again is an issue. Curved shadow. Alright. Always forget this. Good, we have a forest map. And the whole reason we were doing this is because we wanted to mess around with random tiles, right? Good. So let's make an empty tile. Create empty. Empty tile. Good. And we're going to give it the example tile object. I'm gonna find out if this works even. Just because. This is the dumbest thing, is it? Let's see if it throws an error or not. We want our default tile be the woods, but our starting tile is going to be empty. No. There is no mesh renderer attached, of course. Let's just use the fallback tile then. Good. But the fallback tile doesn't have an example tile code. Now it has. Right, so let's test that out. None. 16 times 16, fallback tile will be used. Oh, what? Ugh. Because the example script is on. Correct? Tries to grab something that isn't there. Yeah, correct. How do we do this? Why? What are you doing? Material, example material, wait. Oops. Maybe we should just define the example material. Maybe that's just a solution. Good. Rest is still the same. Color is black. Did we enable it? Mesh renderer, let's enable it. And now it's black. Good. That is interesting. But why does it not have this? Huh? Why is this texture not being used? No clue. Oh, now we remember. I think this is what we meant to do. Dynamic tile size. Dynamic tile size. Good. Let's not forget. Good. That's the thing we were thinking of last time. Good. I don't know why this is coming back to us now. The only explanation is there is no free will. But hold on. It has the texture, doesn't it? It just does not show up much. What if we were switching up the color over here? On that one tile the game doesn't want us to zoom in on. I mean, maybe we can we can look here. Huh? Why can we not see our tune? And is there no collider? What is going on? Center, please. Alright, so this is the first one, right? It is. If we were switching out the color, would we be seeing it? Some reason, no. I think it might be changing the color all the time here. Not sure what's happening. Really not sure. Now we're red here. Because this is directly in the shader. Is there a color we haven't used yet? Let's do this and wear that color. Fallback tile. Let's copy the derp. Put it here and never worry about it ever again. Alright. Good. So the fallback tile is this. But what if we gave this fallback tile woods and plains? Oops. In the random derp. Random position tile and rotation. Let's figure this out. Defines resize, material, random tile prefabs. And then we're gonna give it a nothing. Going to say if list length, oh dear, copy. Going to do this all. Right. Where do we grab the replacement code? Oh, this is gonna be rough. Because this will self-destruct. Well, not our problem. So in theory we do it right here before we check for other code. I don't know if what we're looking for. Random tile prefabs length or count is bigger than 0. We're going to look into the Where is the code there? Oh. Camera main get component. What was it called? Infinite open world. And then we're gonna say creator. Oh dear. We also have to randomize, don't we? You have to get an integer. Brutal. Why? Why do we have to do this integer? Index equals random range between 0 and random count. -1. Like this. And then create tile. But where? Well, here. Boom, boom, beep, boom, boom. Tile features. What the heck? Int x, int y. Jeez, this is a bit rough. Transform. Get component. Tile features. Oops. Cohorts x. Good, and now we tell it create tile. X, Y, and what kind of tile is gonna be the I? Oh no. Random tile prefabs. How does it work? I, and we're going to say the parent. What's going to be the parent is going to be transform parent, and we're going to replace yes. Yes, no, that's not code. Tur is also not code. True is code. C# code. Now, this is fantastic. Genius. Wonderful, and it will work first try. Probably not. Have we forgotten anything? No. So what's the problem with this? Random does not contain a definition for ramg. Why do you not contain a definition for ramg? Ramg is great. This is float to int. Oh, we're missing a cast again. That is very sad. 47. 47. Let's just have them be floats instead. Because why not? What now? Cannot convert float to int. Wait, did we not just... cannot convert float to int? Sad face. Let's typecast here. Why not? What now? Cannot convert transform to game object. Yeah, that makes sense. Cannot convert transform game object. Sorry about that. Good. But if this works, we count it as first try because I was just stupid. Probably. But yeah, so what if we play now? We don't have replacement code. We do not have replacement code. That is, of course, a thing. Dun-dun. If not replace exist return. Otherwise blitzt. Boom 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 boom. Da da da. World grid. Remove. Huh? I don't think we need a second argument here. Also, destroy. Okay. How's this work again? We don't know. Unity destroy. And then you put the object in. Destroy. Word grid. It's a dictionary. How do you access a dictionary again? Copy. We have a lot of new vector here. Would that work? And then we remove it from the dictionary. And then deal with objects shown that need to be preserved. If using this in project, just a little bit of a hint there. Good. Right. Right, so this gets replaced. That means we destroy the old one and we remove them from the dictionary, and then there is a room for the new one. Let's see. It'd be nice if it would just work. That's a lot of wood. But where are the planes? Let's find out. Bum 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 bum. Forest plains, it never reaches the 1. Which probably means we don't know what we're doing here. Random range between 0 and the count. And the count is less? I don't understand. This should be between 0 and 1. Weird. Debug. Log. Is this really just being 0 all the time? That is just crazy. Why would it be? It's 0 all the freaking time. Why? Between 0 and the count. The count is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. But what if the count is 1? For some dumb reason. Then it's a random matter between 0 and 0 and 0 always. And the count seems to be 1 all the time. With 2 things the count is 1? Let's find out. Clearly. Just madness. But now we have what we wanted. And this is some example code for what you can do with this asset. So we have woods now and plains. This completely looks like woods and plains, right? But yeah, this is just to show this off, right? Good. Now are we going to add weight to it? Don't know. And are we going to add the curve shader to the dude? Probably we have to, and probably gonna forget it if you don't write it down. You know, we have curve shader shader curve to player character test player character, just so we don't forget. Tile replacement code. Did we do this? Is this done? I don't know. Don't know. Also, we have to fix this here with the looking around. I mean, it's nice, but yeah, we definitely have to give it the curvature. And if you right-click somewhere, it should walk there. And this is so disconcerting that the camera refuses to do this on the edge of the map. Maybe the curvature code is garbage. But we're too noob to write our own curvature code. We just ripped something off somewhere and copy-paste it into our own shader, but it doesn't seem like an optimal solution. Still, this is between woods and plains. So that's alright in theory. Good. So we could showcase this. And let's annul this out again. And see what happens now. The old thing happens again. Good. Good. Is there anything else we want to do today? Tile rotation, dynamic tile size, editor area creation. Thought we have this all. Polish it up, like with the character model there. Then we have to write a script for the YouTube video to explain it all. Going to explain the features, like the infinity mode, looping or creating. Let's put it on creating and see what happens. Press play. It's creating a map. So that's great. Completely functional, which is nice. And what if we have it off? Then of course nothing happens, just the map is getting created. So that is what we're going to explain in the YouTube video, the 3 modes of having an infinite map. Infinity looping or creating, or turn it off if you need to. And here is the size of the map. There's the creation speed of the tiles of the map, and that is useful for if you have thousands of them, and big tiles as well with objects in it, child objects. And then the map height, just to configure the collider there. That is finding out where the player character is to trigger various things like the infinity. Then we define the XZ size of each tile prefabs, or make it dynamic. So up here we're going to have another option to just grab the size of whatever tiles are going to get defined down here. So this would be the correct place to put it in. Define visibility, previously leave them empty here. Wait, what? Tile size and then visibility. Unlimited visibility and no creation when not looping. What? I think we turned this off. This is the polishing we were talking about. We have to do here. Unlimited visibility and 10 tiles. Let's just leave it be. If we have unlimited visibility, then tiles are getting created in 10. This is a niche case, and I don't think we should put too much thought into it, maybe. Maybe. Should we showcase the different scenes as well? Also, we're going through this now. Visibility. Alright, tile size. Map height. Let's move the visibility up one. Go to map height. Visibility. And then the tile size. And then we're gonna have a boolean. Oh, just rough. Copy. Just another mother. Good, we're going to describe this. How? Define visibility in tiles. -1 means unlimited visibility. Visibility has nothing to do with visibility. what were we trying to say? Dynamic tile size. Size of tiles is defined by the default. Yeah, by the default prefab default tile prefab below. So we're gonna move this over. Good. Default tile prefab below. Size of tiles. Is the size of all tiles defined by the default tile prefab size below? Good. Size. Size of all tiles. Size of each tile in map. Map tile size. Is map tile size, I think this is the clearest, defined by the default tile prefab size below. I mean, sure. We will show it off in the YouTube video. Oh man, oh man. Next. Range, public visibility. No, this is all wrong. It's gonna be a Boolean. And then we have to write the code for it as well. Dynamic. Tile size. Dynamic tile size. Good, and during the creation process, we're just gonna find out how big the tile is there. Let's see how it looks here. Visibility is this, unlimited differences. Is map tile size defines the XZ size of each tile prefabs. It's very unclear. Defines the XZ size of each tile in map. Should be the same as prefabs used to create the map. That's a mouthful. Copy. Or is map tile size actually defined by the default tile prefab size below? Yeah, we definitely have to explain this in a YouTube video. This is a bit rough. Good, and we're not going to change this. Oh, wish we could. Click this grading and then the tooltip changes. Do we have enum tooltips? In theory. In Unity. Inspector tooltips. Enum tooltips. Editor tooltip. Tooltip. No. Definitely no. Alright, define so many tiles. Let's go over here. Good. Define so many tiles in the x and minus x and z and minus z directions you want, alright? And that's the coordinate system. Also gonna just explain this. Speed of tile creation, yes. Defines the map height, sure. Define the visibility tiles. Defines the XZ size of each tile map. Should be the same as prefabs used to create the map. Good. Is the map tile size defined? Where's my actual copy? Define so many tiles in the directions you want. Speed of tile defines the map height. What? How many tiles? Yes. And the size is down here. Defines the XZ size of each tile map. Should be the same as prefabs used to create the map. Boop, boop. Or is map tile size actually defined by the default tile prefab size below default tile prefab? So we can click this. And then this here will be together. Is in the create tile probably. Right? Create tile. This is the size. Tile transfer stretch float, map height. Stretched collider, trigger size. And in the end add it in, but where do we put it? Position, there we go. Coordinate x, tile size x. That must be how big the thing is. And how do we find out how big the thing is? We're gonna get the collider bounds. Coordinate x times tile size x. This is from up here somewhere. Maybe put it all the way down there. This is, I don't know, if not dynamic tile size, then you can do this. Elsewise, you do it differently. But let's do it the same. And see if it even compiles. And see if it even runs. Alright. Do we have it clicked? Just because the position might be problematic, but it doesn't matter here, so that's good. The position of the line of the code here. Good. Now we have to grab the bounds. Of the collider, but which one? Of the trigger box? Trigger box bounds. Trigger box bounds. I don't know if this is smart. Trigger box bounds. X. I have no clue if this actually works or not. Let's try it out. We got away with this a little bit earlier. Trigger button before you scream, you're doing the wrong. If good X, Y, Z, we are well aware. Trigger box bounds Z, we're very well, very well aware. Okay, trigger box bounds Z. Don't know if this works. Yep. No X's over X. Yeah, I know. Bounds does not contain a definition for X. I know it does not. Size is a bit more involved. Involved. Good XZ. Let's just see if this works. That would be if it immediately just snaps. Oh. Man, it's almost like we know how to code. Almost. It's like we actually know what we're doing. So now the problem is a different one. Let's test it out. Let's say the fallback thingy is weird. Say it's like this. See if it still works or not. Oh man, this is genius. How does this work so nicely? How come? Whoa! What if it doesn't work so nicely? What's over there? Something is not right. The creation works, but the rest does not. So we're over here. What happens if we move forward? We know exactly what is the problem. If there is dynamic tile size, oh, we will put this somewhere else. Wait a minute. Can we make this into a float then? Can we make the tile size into floats? Oof. Sure, this works, but it's not elegant at all. Tell you what. In the create tile, I'm gonna have floats. And this switches up every time. Let's keep it in one space. This is fine. Float TSX TSZ. This is the dumbest thing. Maybe, but maybe not. Good. And then we're going to move this. If dynamic tile size we need the tile information. Oof. That's a bit rough. That's not cool at all. I mean, default. The default is null. Is this here? Why is this here? We could put the fallback somewhere else. And then the default tile prefab is never null. And that will swallowize this code as well. And make it more readable. We're doing many things at once now. Hopefully we're not going to lose ourselves somewhere. Let's go into the start. Just a container object. Create areas, create map, map move. Start. If default equals 0, default equals simple tile prefab. Simple tile prefab? Simple object as fallback when the above is not defined. And then there's a fallback material, sure. Good. This is the dumbest thing. Since we're never null down here. Game object tile equals null. I think this is a bit better. Then the parent is just in the void. That's fine. Then coordinate x, coordinate z. So we don't. This is even faster. We do like this way better. Good. Now, what were we doing? Else, if tile equals a 0, which it never will be. If tile not equal null. This will never happen. Hopefully, oops. Instantiate tile. I think this might be good enough. So we do instantiate the tile that is getting here done. Alright. Tile equals simple tile prefab. Instantiate tile. This is super fast code, we like it. But the question is, will Unity like it? Good, we have these floats over there. And then... let's put them somewhere else. So we do instantiate the tile. Can we get the bounds from prefab? Probably not. We instantiate the tile. And we have to get into the other mother over here. And this just takes the X tiles, Z tiles. Which this takes as well. Whatever. This is just the coordinates. Transform position. No coordinates. It's just the coordinates. That's not moving. Where's the moving code? Word grid. Position, here it is. Tile size X. There it is. We must make this a float. Which is brutal. But maybe it's fine. Good. Where is it brutal or is it fine? It's gonna be fine in the end. For now, it's brutal. Because we have to code it. Let's put it up here. Does this need to be public? No. Visibility setter. We probably don't need this as well. Good, we have a float and we don't know what this is, so let's describe it. The actual size of one tile in the map grid of one single tile. Map grid tile size X and tile size Z. The actual size of one single tile in the map grid. Tile size X and tile size Z. Float TSX and TSZ. That should be reasonable. Good. We are going to need this later. And I don't think this actually needs to be hidden in that inspector. We're using this all the time. Good. Oof. We have to find out what the tile size is. Where do we do this? When we're making the map? What we're trying to prevent doing is finding out the size every time anew. But we have to instantiate a tile in order to find it out, so that's a little bit of a conundrum. Maybe only when we do the 0, 0. This is separated. Create tile. What does the start say? Create areas, create map, map move. In the end, we might just take this as is. Of course, we will have different tile sizes. Will we not? The default should define the actual size. If it's not getting created,
I request a mandatory ocular augmentation.
Fat Cat. What is happening? Best Fat Cat dance song. And cannot see. What? How about now? Here's your augmentation. Here's your ocular augmentation. Can you read this now? So what we're trying to do, we're moving this, right? How many times are we moving it? 1, 2, 3, 4 is our guess. And this must be, this is tile size X. Players coming from the right, players coming from the left, indeed. There is this thing in C# coding where you can have a float and an int with the same name. But we're not good enough to implement this. And we're not willing to do it either. Maybe this would be such a situation. Can you have a root be a float? Is this putting marshmallow in the root beer, which is not root beer? Because the American root beer is different from actual root beer. Yeah, we have to put this. Let's do it. It's gonna be brutal. TSX, I promise, it's gonna be very brutal. We're gonna do this very manually. TSX, TSX, and TSX. Good. And then we have here tile size Z, TSZ, TSC, TSC, and TSC. Good, and we do have to define this somewhere. It's just root beer and ice cream. Oh, that sounds not bad. That sounds very good, actually. Where's our creation function? Good. Here it is. If the dynamic style size is this, then you do that. Oof, rough. This is going to be too much code, but we want to make it working before we want to optimize it. If we're going to optimize this at that point, tsx equals that ts or z equals copy paste. This doesn't feel right. This does not feel right at all. This feels horrible. tsx equals tile size x. And make it a float, please. TSZ and Z. So this should work in this example, but no. Parameter of a tile must be compile time constant. Ah, that's why. 298. That's why we don't have this super fast code. Good. Cut. Paste. No. If we have to do this again. If tile equals, so rough. No. Tile equals. Good. Just this is somewhat fast. Doesn't seem fast enough. Good, so now another problem or not. Or not. Let's see if the code works. We move over. So far, so reasonable. Good, now we optimize. And let's be careful not to over-optimize. What we want, it's good that it works, but we want this only for the default, and we want this here as a default, probably. Maybe here. This is not good. This needs to be somewhere completely different. This might need to go into the start. User defines tile size in integers, but functionality for a dynamic real size is given in code as well. I hope that explains everything. At the end of the movie, that person suddenly appears and says, "Peekaboo!" Huh? At the end of the movie? What are you talking about, Fat Cat? Are you delirious again? In the mirror? Huh? What movie? Are we still talking about the presents? Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, they did. They're just in the mirror. Wait, what was the end? Let's not spoil it for everybody. No, he just said hi. He said goodbye. Just to show off that he did the best he could out of love. And I'm crying thinking about this. This was so good. And then the mom got closure. Like, bro, you could have just done it a long time ago and saved everybody some time. No, in fact, you missed the whole point of the thing. He wasn't some all-powerful being. It was his spirit trying to do the very best to stay there in this reality, hanging on to the reality and doing what was possible. And they don't know what is possible. If they were an all-powerful being, yeah, sure, they could have just appeared and said, "Hey, listen, so and so." But that is a different movie. That's a show, actually. It's called American Horror Story. That's how the ghosts work there. But this one is a little bit less. But the season, the American Horror Story season, where the ghosts work like you describe it, you hated the blonde kid? Who, the rapist? Please don't tell me you hated the rapist. Because that's extreme. That's super controversial. I'm actually gonna start a tour. I know it's a controversial thing to do, but I'm going from town to town. I'm gonna just say I hate rapists. I'm just going to go up on that stand and I'm going to tell everybody why I stand on a silent platform. Right? Try something new and don't be the norm. I'm gonna say, listen, I really hate rapists. You could just make a TikTok. What? Yeah, I'm gonna make a TikTok. And I'm gonna be extremely different from everybody else. I'm gonna take your standpoint there, Fat Cat. I'm gonna take this point that you're making and make it my own. I'm gonna say, guys, I really dislike rapists. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but anyways, let's go back to coding. Where were we? User defined function for generated real size is given in code as well. And that's why we're defining this over here real quick, so that we don't get into trouble when we move the map. Ever. That means we don't have to do it down here, and that optimizes the code and saves us some lines. Good. Especially here. Dirty brackets can go. And this code goes where the default tile comes into play. But where does the default tile come into play? You didn't like the dark sounds. I hated the sounds of their kissing. What? Fat Cat. Yeah, sure. If you're misophonic on smacking sounds, lips make, and there are people, and I can understand, I can relate. I have a different sound I don't like. Yeah, but that's a little bit of a you problem there, because that's not an artificially created sound like it is. Smacking sounds, they just come up. I mean, it's unfair to be discriminating against sounds or against different types of mesophonic triggers. I'm just realizing it's very bad what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you don't like smacking sounds, it's your problem. It's so bad. I shouldn't be saying this. I have to apologize. But I'm just thinking is a little bit worse than. It's just what I'm saying. That's just me. I know. For a lot of people listening, the smacking sound is just as bad, if not worse. But I'm thinking maybe the people who don't like the feeping sound are more numerous. And again, this is not a good standpoint to have. I would not be promoting this. Just because it's many people who like this sound less than the other one doesn't mean it's in quality different. Not all the time, but I think I was done with the movie and it was just, I know. I wish the ghosts would have switched the drinks around. I understand this. You have a movie and you think, what are the characters doing? This is so dumb. Come on, why is the ghost not fighting back proper? I mean, I wish the ghost was just materialized inside the rapist kid and then there would be blood and gore everywhere, a huge explosion of sinew and bone. But, yes. Facker says yes. But that wasn't what the movie was about. And so here is the thing. I am watching a lot of movies. I'm watching a lot of shows. And oftentimes, the movie is produced very well. And there's action, and there's realism, and there's characters. And in the end, there wasn't even blood at the end. And in the end, you're thinking, what was this? The story wasn't brought to a conclusion, and there's no closure. And I totally disagree with the ending. What was the movie I had this recently with? The people were doing something, and it was, I think there was some sort of fighting, and a State of Grace. Horrible, very well made movie, and I even got into Sean Penn. I even got into the guy. I thought, hey, maybe Sean Penn not so bad. But in the end, I hated the guy just like I hated him before. Right? So I know I hate Sean Penn. I watched the movie. Movie is well done. Movie is well written. I like the characters. Sean Penn is acting great. I'm like, yeah, sure. All right. This is good. Sean Penn. All right. Didn't think he had it in him. And then the ending was so bad. This was the worst action scene I've ever seen in the worst, well, not really, but the worst shootout in any action movie I've ever seen. And what a bad taste that left in my mouth after watching the thing. It's 90 minutes, and then the conclusion was so bad. And I'd rather have a movie where nothing much happens, and then the story comes to a conclusion, where I can think, wow, this was a story. There was a beginning, there was a middle part, and there was an end. But in State of Grace, there was no end. It just, he went there and he could have done the same thing like 3 times over and way better. Before he had way opportunities to do this, and he could have opted for something completely different, and he could have used his cop connections or whatever. He could have done a million different things to bring this to a conclusion, and he could have even opted for the conclusion they've shown. But man, oh man, he enters the bar, and they're the 3 guys, and he shoots one guy, doesn't get into cover, doesn't need to, it's just the first one, shoots the one guy, then he goes into cover, then he jumps out of cover into the open, then he jumps again into the open again from the other open spot for no reason. Why not fire your gun at the target, preferably from cover? This is so dumb. This is infuriating. His brother Ink is cool. His brother Ink is cool. What are you talking about? This was just maddening. I was, and you're watching 90 minutes of a movie, and then you have this. Why was he jumping at all? There was no need to jump around. Ink pen, shop pen, ink pen. My goodness. And now you know why I hate this guy, and I love Ed Norton. I hate Sean Penn, and I love Ed Norton, because Ed Norton would have gone crazy, would have gone berserk. He would have fought, and like a tiger, he would have gone to the producer, he would have gone to the writers, and he would have moved everything. He would have moved the world to make this ending proper. He would have said, I have a vision that is better. And let's be honest, any vision is better than what we saw there in State of Grace at the end. Yeah, he's cool, just don't care for his antivirus software. What? And Norton. Norton. Yeah, and I also didn't like the Norton Commander. It was terrible. They added in mouse support, I think, in the last second in the latest installment of the thing. But man, oh man, it was brutal. I was so happy when I could finally pirate Windows 95. Man, oh man. Remember how everybody stormed the places? Stormed the retail? The retails? They were going there and, yeah, Windows 95, yeah, let me buy it. I was the same, except I was sitting in front of the computer. Yay, let me pirate it as soon as possible. Come on. So yeah, that was good times. 1995. Anyway, what we're doing here. We were trying to get this here to the default tile. So simple tile prefab. Tile equals simple tile prefab. But what if the default tile is getting used? Where is the default tile even getting used? And this we never look ever again at. Default tile is up here. Simple tile prefab. Simple objects forwarded was no default tile prefab. Let's find this. Where is it getting used? Only here. Good. Not sure what's going on here. This is infinity mode visibility check. Default tile prefab. Prefab? Is that like self? Fat cat? Careful, careful, careful. In this channel. What you're talking about? Prefab. The problem is I cannot speak English proper. That is my problem. So I said prefab instead of prefab, and that has something to do with my my hard language. I grew up with Heitenschreitengeil. That's how my language is sounding here in this country, and I can barely live with myself speaking that language as a native tongue. But yeah, we're trying. So Fat Cat, thank you. Prefab is what we're talking about, not prefab. Sorry, but thank you for pointing it out. Oh, it's like preparation to make fabric t-shirt. It's clear now. Yes. Prefab. Default type prefab. This is so embarrassing. But we got the Fat Cat who helps us out here, speaking proper. It's really rough, honestly. I feel like I don't even have a chance to be successful as a content creator or as a Twitch streamer without being able to speak proper. You do speak very clear, says the Fat Cat. All right. At least I get that. I get that from you, and I got that going for me. Anyways, so here we get the default prefab from the visibility check. But where do we get it? Here. Can we have a simple checkup here? If we are instantiating where is it? If we are instantiating a default, if tile equals instantiate tile, no. We have to get the bounces somewhere. This is brutal. Why are we giving ourselves this riddle here? I tell you, I never would have known if I lived in Germany if you hadn't told me and said that before. Yes, but coaches, they would find out immediately. Coaches would find out immediately. So here's the thing. I was in the States, and there was a rumor going around. There is a German guy playing, and then I speak, and people say, "Are you German?" Yeah, I heard it. You have a little bit of an accent. And of course I have an Eastern European accent because I try very hard to have the Eastern European accent instead of the German accent, and then they offend me by they think they know they found out with my accent, so now they say I have a German accent, which I don't, and they think they're clever, but they heard that rumor. And that's how they know that I'm German, because I do have an accent. And then they think they're smart, and it's very offensive, and it's horrible to talk to people like that. And luckily, many people, but it did happen. You should never be upset at your English, because it really is top notch. Yeah, fat cat. You say this because you're my friend, so thank you for the compliment, but I know my limitations. It's a bit brutal. If I could speak like my favorite streamer, wow, that would be amazing. And I would have more people watching probably as well. But yeah, it is what it is. Maybe we can get some popularity from a different thing. Maybe we can sell this asset, and then we can say, hey, look at us. We're a successful coder, actually, professionally. And then we can make a YouTube video, professional coder reacts. And then we get some popularity, and then people will try and form a community in the Twitcher we're doing every day. But yeah, because of the way we talk, this is never going to happen. Ever. We would have to be a rhetoric king, like the fantastic Jake there. Who were watching all the time. I don't even speak goodish English, says a fat cat. Yeah? Alright. If you say so. Just trying to be funny with the goodish there. But it's a rough subject for here ourselves. Good. So can we solve this problem here? Can we solve this real quick? If dynamic tile size, this should... Yeah, if dynamic tile size. We can just jam it in here. It's fine. Let's just... Bam. If dynamic tile size... And this is gonna be different in the end. Let's copy it up. Put it over here. If dynamic tile size. And then Oh, this is going to look very different. But it's fine. If dynamic tile size, if tile equals default why is this not working? Default tile prefab. If tile equals to default tile prefab. And then we're gonna do a lot. For example, this instantiate tile. Wait, did we miss something? No. And then else. Hold on, fat cat, I have this in a minute. Instantiate tile, trigger bound, bump. Trigger bound size X, copy. Oh, we just need to copy this in the end. Or even cut it out. We instantiate this and no. Trigger box. We haven't added a collider yet. Oh, damn it. Facker says, I used to think a grilled cheese sandwich was called a girl cheese sandwich. Because yeah. Girl sandwich is funny. Sure. But at least you're speaking complete sentences and it all is stringed together. And we're stumbling over the words and stuttering and making pauses all the time. Yeah. Terrible, but alright. Good. So we could do this all real quickly. Or we could put it somewhere else. But what if the default tile is not even defined? Oh, man. Save me from this. Oh. It would be best just to leave it down there. I've never thought I wish Jowd would speak better. But there are many peoples there. There are many peoples. There are many people there who just check out. Oh, there is somebody streaming RimWorld. I like RimWorld. RimWorld, not Rim. I like RimWorld. Let's see what they have to say, and then they listen to the guy. All right, the voice is nice, but I cannot listen to somebody who cannot speak in coherent sentences. Goodbye. Bam. And then I lose a viewer. It's what it is. That's how it works, and it's very understandable. That's why we keep practicing and getting better, hopefully. Now, default tile prefab. How do we make this happen? You always have Buddy Boy and his love for Hitman. Thank you. So can we put this in start? Which we don't really want to do. We do definitely want to have the functionality there. And default tile prefab, leave it empty for test of default tile prefab. What if we give the default tile prefab what if we give the default tile prefab, if it's empty, the simple tile prefab? This could be a solution. If, where was this? Oh, at the start of the creation thing. If tile equals null, oh man. We could give it his own method. Kill all map times. The problem is we're obsessed currently with a Hitman stealth mechanic game that is a roguelite dungeon crawler. That's what we're obsessed with currently. We have a clear vision of the whole game. That is our problem. That is every waking moment. This is very hard to focus on other things. If we play the Glitchman as just escapism from having to do the work to make it a reality, because we do know it's never going to happen. Because a project like this, it can start off as a one-man project and it's going to be very small, and it could even work, but it's a mere shadow of the vision we have, and that is painful, and I think we'd rather die in the end without having accomplished anything. But yeah, are we going to put it in a method, because here we're instantiating things. So that's...
Hold on, sweet sister.
Hold on, sweet sister. Hold on. Start. We could put it here. You've got this! No, I don't. I have many things, but this I don't. We might be able to finish the asset, and that is just a small step, and we're going to be proud if we make it. And the funny thing about this asset is we're going to do two versions of it. One that's going to cost $5 to download, and then another one that's going to be free. And the difference of the different versions is this version, the $5 version, will cost $5, and the free version will be free. That is the plan. And that's a good plan. But how do we solve this stupid problem here? Every time in the create tile, if the default tile is null, it's gonna fall back to the simple tile prefab. So where's the default tile? Default tile prefab again used? Only when we're creating. Huh? That can't be right. That can't be right at all. Wow, says a fat cat. That can't be right at all. I thought here we were using it as well. Here we do use it as well. No, that's what we're doing right now. Oh man. Create tile. I think we deleted it. If it's null, it should be the default tile. Prefab. And Why do we do this here in this? Because why not? And if the default tile is null, then it's gonna be this simple tile prefab. What the heck is going on? The default equals null. Bam, bom, bam, bom, bam, bom. Simple tile prefab. Default tile prefable. If the default tile prefab equals 0, if the default prefab is null, then we're going to put the simple tile prefab in it as a fallback. Now, if the given tile here as a parameter is null, then it's going to default to the default tile prefab. Good. And if we instantiate a default tile prefab, then we are going to define the TSX and the TSZ. Otherwise, it's going to stay what the user defined beforehand. And now is the problem. They're going to complain it's not instantiated, but it's always going to be instantiated. So, and since we're using the same variable name, it's the compiler will not even notice. Let's hide. No, please, compiler. Don't see what we did here. It's too fast. Good. So if the tile do we have a way to write if else? It doesn't look like complete. Ars Magica. The art of magic. No. If dynamic tile size, yeah, it might be unreachable code. Let's see. Except it's not unreachable code, this is fine. This is actually how it looks. Good. If there's a dynamic tile size, then check the default tile prefab, because it's gonna get instantiated. Otherwise, if there's dynamic tile size and we're not using a default tile prefab, then it's not our fault because it's defined over there in the header as a comment that is very readable. But what is this? Can I look at the trigger box before it is declared? Yeah, we cannot. That's true. That is very, very true. But it does have a box collider. Does it? We hope. Tile. Bomb. Get component. Box collider. If it doesn't, then it's not my problem. Good. If dynamic tile size is used. Default tile prefab must have a box collider. Good, just tell the user here, the coder. Good, let's see if it works. That does not work. Does not work at all. Let's see what we have defined. We don't have a default, we only have a fallback. Good, we just set this in a comment that the designer must define here. Oops. A default, huh? Okay. There is no box collided. I guess we can have 2 colliders. Do we have colliders here? Don't think we do, which means there is yet another problem. Fallback cannot be dynamic. Or no, I think we like this solution here. If dynamic tile size is used, default tile prefab must be in inspector. How do you say populating field? Must be defined in inspector. Default tile prefab must be defined in inspector. Good. Tile add component copy. Box collider. Get the bounds. And then tile remove component. And does this work like this? Because we don't know. Unity remove component. RP. Destroy. Rigid body. Is this true here? This doesn't look like it. Kills the game object in 5 seconds. Alright. Unity destroy RP. Surely there's a better example than what the forum gives us here. Yeah, no, of course there is. Good. Tile destroy tile get component Box collider. Just to get in order to get the size. Surely that's just a quick mathematical operation. Nobody can say anything against that. Right, so it must be defined. We say it is defined now. And let's see how it looks. It looks perfect. Let's try a different use case. The fallback tile, of course, transform reset. And the default tile is maybe mountains. And what if we have the mountains be bam bom bom bam, a little bit bigger. Dun, dun. And let's maximize. Beautiful. Love it when code works. Code works nice. Beautiful. Just fantastic. This is great. Of course it looks like complete ass. But we're not having any materials or textures added into. This looks wonderful, says the package. I think so as well. But yeah, imagine this in a game. I don't know. Good, but this is just for showcasing. And we can also switch up things. For example, we can have this look better. What if this would look completely glossy? It immediately looks way better. And it immediately changes the color of the base there. What is our base color? Did we have it transparent or? No. Why is this blue now? Standard plus curved. This is the overworld color. Strange. It does not take on this. Let's see what's going on. This takes it on. What are we missing? Standard procedure defines resizing. Random tiles we don't have. Random position rotation makes texture switch. Just the texture switch did not work. We have to remove this. Color. This is completely see-through. This is not. No clue. Does the texture have a color? No, it does not. Weird, weird, weird. Mountains. See how they look? What is happening? Why are we so bluish? The glossiness is crazy. No idea. There's only a mountain problem, right? Let's find out. So, and since we have the dynamic tile size, we can do whatever here. It doesn't matter. Let's look at the forest again. Yeah, the forest is not having any problems like that. Good, but whatever. I think we're done for today. We're going to figure this out another time. For now, we're going to say thank you guys for watching. Thanks for chiming in, and don't forget the 5 archives, where more of this stuff is happening. And if you like the game streaming, we have the Glitchman, we have Rimworld, we have Blueprints as a late playthrough. We tried the Worshippers of Cthulhu, which is a fantastic game. So this is more of a first look. It's all in the 5 archives. If you want to go there and have a look-see, and you can always listen to the stuff and fall asleep to it because there's good music playing all the time, and your favorite game probably being played, or just a random game. Until next time, have a good day and a good night.
Farewell.